11 hours. That's how long it took to turn a parking garage into a 2,000-bed hospital capable of surviving the apocalypse. This isn't a drill. This is happening right now. And you've been driving over it your whole life. Haifa, northern Israel, one of the most beautiful port cities in the Mediterranean. This is Rambam Health Care Campus, the largest hospital in northern Israel. Trauma center, cancer treatment, pediatrics, over 80,000 patients hospitalized every year. And below it, perfectly normal, incredibly boring underground parking garage. 1,500 parking spaces, 3 levels, nothing special. People park here every day. They grab their groceries. They visit relatives in the hospital above. Totally ordinary. Except it's not. October 11th, 2023. Hamas launches a coordinated attack from Gaza. Israel braces for Hezbollah to open a second front in the north. Rambam's leadership makes the call. The cars are towed out. Massive transport trucks roll in. The concrete pillars split open. Oxygen lines drop. Suction tubes unfurl. Thousands of hospital beds roll into parking spaces. 20-ton blast doors slam shut, sealing the facility from the outside world. You are not looking at a parking lot. You are looking at the Sammy Ofer Fortified Underground Emergency Hospital. $140 million construction cost, 3 stories below ground, 2,000 bed capacity, 8 meters below sea level, designed to survive ballistic, biological, and chemical attacks. This is how you engineer a hospital to survive the end of the world. July 2006. Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed terror group in Lebanon, launches a surprise cross-border raid, kidnapping 2 Israeli soldiers. Israel responds with airstrikes. Hezbollah responds with rockets, thousands of them. Over 34 days, Hezbollah fires approximately 4,000 rockets into northern Israel. And unlike precision-guided missiles that hit military bases, these are unguided Katyusha rockets. They don't aim, they just fall.
Haifa, a city of 300,000, becomes a target. Within a half-mile radius of Rambam Hospital, 60 to 70 rockets land. Apartment buildings collapse, cars explode, windows shatter across the city. And inside Rambam Hospital, doctors are trying to perform open-heart surgery on the 5th floor of a glass-windowed building while air raid sirens scream and shrapnel peppers the walls. You cannot evacuate ICU patients to a bomb shelter every 30 minutes. A patient on a ventilator, a newborn in an incubator, someone in the middle of dialysis. They can't move. Professor Michael Halberthal, Rambam CEO, later said, "We made a commitment that this scenario cannot happen again." After the war, the Ministry of Health issued a radical new mandate. The hospital must become the bomb shelter. But there was a problem. Land in Haifa, a coastal city squeezed between the Mediterranean and Mount Carmel, is scarce and expensive. There's no room to build outward. The engineers had only one direction to build: straight down into the earth. 2010. Construction begins. The plan? Excavate 3 stories underground. Build a fortified hospital beneath the existing parking lot. Sounds simple, except for one problem. Rambam Hospital sits on a half-moon-shaped headland, practically on the beach. The Mediterranean Sea is 200 meters away. When the excavators dig down 8 meters below sea level, they immediately hit the water table. The hole fills with seawater. Here's the physics. When you dig below the water table,
The surrounding groundwater pushes inward with hydrostatic pressure. The deeper you go, the stronger the pressure. At 8 meters depth, the pressure is crushing. And here's the terrifying part. If you build a sealed, watertight structure underground and don't anchor it properly, the buoyant force from the surrounding water can push it upward like a cork in a bathtub. Israeli engineers described the underground hospital as a submarine buried in mud, because that's exactly what it is. The solution? Anchor the entire structure to the bedrock. Hundreds of steel cables and rock anchors were drilled deep into the bedrock beneath the hospital. The foundation is a monolithic concrete slab, thick enough to resist the crushing hydrostatic pressure from below. Then, waterproofing membranes were installed on the outside of the concrete walls, a technique called blindside waterproofing, because once the walls are poured, you can't access the exterior to seal it. Even today, pump stations run continuously around the perimeter, removing groundwater that seeps through cracks and joints. This wasn't just building a hospital. This was building a submarine that never moves. 2014, the underground facility opens. For 99% of the time, it's a parking garage. People park their cars, they walk to the elevators, they go about their day. But hidden in every square inch of this structure is a fully functional hospital waiting to emerge. Look at this pillar. Looks like normal concrete, right? Wrong. Every single pillar between the parking spaces is hollow. Inside, behind reinforced panels, are the lifelines of a hospital. Oxygen lines, vacuum suction tubes, medical gas pipelines, power outlets, IT network cables. The floor? Also deceptive. Beneath the concrete are water supply lines, sewage drainage, electrical conduits. The ceiling? Hidden medical equipment rails that drop down when activated. The official transformation protocol, 72 hours. But in October 2023, when war broke out, Rambam did it in 11 hours, with help from the Israeli Navy in Home Front Command. Here's how it works. Hour 1 to 2, evacuate all cars or physically tow them. Hour 3 to 4, unlock wall panels, drop oxygen lines, unfurl suction tubes. Hour 5 to 6, roll out pre-staged antibacterial flooring over the concrete. Hour 7, roll in hospital beds from storage. Hour 9, connect medical equipment, test systems. Hour 11, first patients arrive. What was a parking space on Tuesday is a fully functional trauma bay by Wednesday morning. But surviving conventional missiles is still step 1. The real nightmare is chemical or biological weapons.
Syria has used chemical weapons. Iran has biological research programs. Hezbollah has 150,000 missiles, some capable of carrying unconventional warheads. The Rambam Underground Hospital was designed to survive that. When the threat level escalates, 20-ton steel blast doors seal every entrance. The facility becomes 100% airtight. Then the HVAC system switches into overpressure mode. Massive HEPA filters and activated carbon filters scrub incoming air, removing chemical agents, biological particles, and radioactive dust. But here's the genius. The system pumps air faster than it exhausts it, creating positive internal pressure. The air pressure inside the hospital is slightly higher than outside. If a chemical gas cloud, sarin, chlorine, VX nerve agent hits the hospital, it cannot seep in. The higher internal pressure physically pushes the poison away from cracks, vents, and seals. And when the city above collapses, the underground hospital has its own diesel generators holding 3 days of fuel. It has independent deep water wells bypassing the city's water grid. It has sewage containment tanks, so waste doesn't back up. It has massive oxygen storage, enough for 2,000 patients for 72 hours. The hospital severs itself from the surface and becomes a self-sustaining island, a sealed ecosystem, a fortress, a last refuge when the world above is burning. And it's not theoretical. March 2025, Operation Lion's Roar. Israel strikes Hezbollah targets across Lebanon. Hezbollah retaliates with hundreds of rockets. Rambam activates the underground hospital. 700 patients are moved from unfortified departments above ground into the fortified facility below. A baby is born in the underground maternity ward, the first child delivered in a bunker built to survive the apocalypse. It's not a drill anymore, it's real. The Sammy Ofer Fortified Underground Emergency Hospital cost $140 million. 8 years to raise the funds, 4 years to build. Professor Halberthal, Rambam's CEO, said something haunting at the opening ceremony in 2014. "I hope we never have to use this facility, but with the world the way it is today, who knows what will be." This hospital is an engineering marvel, but it's also a grim reflection of modern geopolitics. Singapore has one. Switzerland has dozens. Finland is building an entire city's worth of underground shelters. Because the world is realizing, in modern warfare, there is no such thing as a safe civilian target. Dual-use architecture is the future. Subway stations that convert into shelters, office buildings with blast-proof basements, schools with fortified classrooms, and parking garages that become hospitals. The Sammy Ofer Hospital sits beneath Haifa, silent, waiting, a $140 million insurance policy against the unthinkable. Above ground, life continues. Cars honk, people laugh, children play. Below ground, nurses stand ready, generators hum, blast doors wait, and the engineers who built it pray it's never needed for anything other than parking cars. But they know better. Because in Israel, hope is a strategy, but survival is engineering. So here's my question for you. Do you think dual-use architecture, buildings designed to be both everyday spaces and emergency bunkers, is the future of urban planning? Or is it just a band-aid on a much bigger global problem? Let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think. Hit subscribe. This channel dives deep into the engineering that shapes our world, for better or worse. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.